Hi besties and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, hello, my name is Emily. I love to chat about the library, plants, and other things that I'm doing, and if you are returning, thank you. Today I'm doing a really fun video where I am doing a little reading vlog, and it's been a while since I've done a reading vlog, so, you know, just bear with me, but I'm doing a reading vlog for the book Watermoon by Samantha Sotto Yambao. I hope I'm saying that correctly. This book is actually the book that the Readin magazine team's book club chose to read for the month of January. And the book club is coming up very soon and I need to start reading the book. I'm in a little bit of a reading slump, so I did browse my library shelves, and when I went to the library I was purely there to just get some novellas to try to help me get out of this slump, because I find that if I read short books that I can just read like this and, you know, start and finish in one day, it really like jogs my desire to read again. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what it is for me. So anyways, while I was browsing the shelves, I saw that they had Watermoon and I was like, wow, that's actually so perfect, because I do have this book on my bookshelf. It was an Illumicrate subscription box. I guess whenever it came out, because it's books that are released that month. So it has been on my bookshelf for a while and I just never got around to reading it. And honestly, I don't really like reading books with sprayed edges because I feel like the sprayed edge, like, it feels weird, and also I feel like it's gonna get onto my hands. And let me show you actually. I mean, the book, this is the Illumicrate book and this is the sprayed edge, and it's actually so stunning. Like, it's just so pretty, but also this cover is also like gorgeous. So I have two books. I have them both now. So this will be due in 3 weeks. If I don't get around to finishing it, then I can finish it on this one, but I am going to primarily read off of my library book just because, yeah, the sprayed edges are just too pretty. I like can't destroy them. And another thing is like the dust jacket. I don't want to take it off, but I also don't want to like destroy the book, because the book itself is just like very pretty. Like, that is the hardcover, and then it has some artwork in it as well. It's all just very pretty. Like, so I'll be reading the library book, and I'm actually gonna go about this like reading vlog, I think maybe a little bit differently than I have in reading vlogs in the past, because I am so like short for time this week. So today is Sunday the 18th and we meet next Sunday the 25th to like talk about the book, and I think it's okay like if I don't finish the book, but I'm gonna want to finish the book, you know, before book club. So I have all of today. I actually am off for my corporate 9 to 5 tomorrow for I think Martin Luther King Day, and typically I work 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. And that's just like my full-time corporate job. On top of that, I also do like volunteer work, and I have my own besties book club, and I am the events director for Readin magazine. So I'm like very booked outside of that as well. And this week is especially busy, where every single day of the week I have some type of meeting or volunteer work or just something, except for Friday. And Friday I'm trying to do like a little in-the-house date night with my husband where we like watch a movie and just like very decompressed, like try not to scroll on my phone. So I'll see. Maybe I'll try to like set aside time before work if I can like read a little bit. I'm just now realizing that I probably won't have a lot of time to read this week, but that's okay. I don't want to like put a lot of pressure on myself if I don't read it. If I don't finish it, that's totally fine. And honestly, I think that that is one reason why I've been in such a slump lately, because I just feel like I have no free time, and the free time that I do have, my brain is so fried and exhausted that I'm just like, I don't want to read. So anyways, that was a lot of like TMI, Emily, we just want to watch a reading vlog. So I hear you, girl. Let's kind of talk about what this reading vlog is going to look like. So I actually went through this morning and I tabbed out each part. This book is split up into 4 different parts, and I just read the first chapter this morning. I actually really like the writing style. It's very like easy to get into, and I actually think I'll find myself like flying through this book, so that bodes well. But I have tabbed out like part 1, then part 2, 3, and then 4. And so I think the goal for today is to get from part 1, read all of the entirety of part 1 and stop at part 2. Unless I'm feeling like I want to read more, then I will continue on. Tomorrow, since I'm off of work, in the morning I'm going to try to read all of part 2, because it's actually the smallest part in the entire book. So I'll try to finish the day tomorrow, finishing part 2. And then I will have Tuesday through Friday to read part 3 and part 4. No, because we meet on Sunday, so I'll have Tuesday through Sunday to read part 3 and part 4. I think that will be very doable. We'll see what we can do. I might try to find the audiobook, so as I'm doing chores, but I'm gonna try to not stress about it. Also, if you get this cover, this version, it shows you how to make a little paper crane thingy. A paper hat floater for the water. Okay, anyways, I've been yapping enough. Let's just get into the reading vlog. Okay, so I am officially on to part 2, and I'm actually really enjoying this book. It is much more like whimsical and not as straightforward as I thought it was going to be. I'm really enjoying the different like POVs in each chapter where, like, you know, there's the characters say something and then the next chapter is that character's POV explaining the backstory of like that comment or like a little side story. Just like, you know, secondary information, and I'm really, really, really enjoying the way that it is written and kind of like that. The only thing that I can see being an issue throughout the entire book, or maybe it's only an issue in the first part of the book, is the fact that it is slightly slow because there's just so much like talking and dialogue between the two characters. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something that I find to drag the story a little bit. I still think the story is really good. So I am really excited to, you know, see how the rest of the book goes. I might read a little bit more tonight because I'm currently on page, so part 1 goes all the way to page 93 and part 2 goes all the way to page 180. We'll see. I'm about to eat dinner and I don't know if after that I'm gonna read anymore or if I'm just gonna like hang out and do Sudokus on the couch while my husband plays video games. I don't know. I don't know what the plan is for tonight. So I might read more. I did get to what I wanted to today, so I'm happy with my progress. And I will update you guys tomorrow for how part 2 goes. What the hell was that? What was that? Okay, so it is the next day, and I did end up finishing part 2 like I wanted to. I actually flew through part 2, so now I'm on part 3, and I'm actually really enjoying this book now. It definitely picked up after part 1 because remember I said I wasn't really sure how it was gonna like go, but I am really enjoying the journey that they're on. And I actually didn't realize, so part 3 starts at like page 181 or 2, and then it goes all the way to 340. So it's gonna be like a huge chunk of my next couple of days, and then the last part 4 is like less than 30 pages. So I think I'm just going to read the rest of the book as part of like the next section of this little reading vlog. But yeah, I am really enjoying this. It's about halfway through. And it's just like such a fast read. The writing is really whimsical, everything that they're going on. Like I've genuinely never read a book like this. So I am excited to continue reading it. Tonight I'm a little bit busy. Tomorrow night I'm a little bit busy, but finally the night after that, I think I'll have a good chunk of time to be able to read before our book club. So that's the update. I did finally finish Watermoon, and it did take me kind of like a day or two to really like sit with my thoughts and figure out what I felt about this book. I thought the premise of it was really unique and honestly like really fun to read. The writing was very quick to get through. I was correct whenever I said I think I'm going to fly through this book because I absolutely flew through this book. I don't think the dialogue issue that I originally had at the beginning of this book was really ever like fully resolved. Like even through the end of the book, I still kind of felt like that they were just talking too much rather than like showing us, or like, you know, Kai is like this very super smart person, scientist who has a PhD, and Hannah was like talking to him like he was stupid, and he was kind of like acting stupid. So that kind of didn't make sense to me, but also I understand like maybe why he was acting that way or feeling that way, because like everything that he knew was just this world like completely blew it up. And I've actually already had book club for this book, so like none of this is spoilers, and I'm not going to like say anything that is a spoiler for this book in case you haven't read it, but somebody said that these two characters had like way too many mommy issues, and I 100% agree. The only thing that I want to say that might help you determine whether you want to read this book or not is that I thought that this would be a little bit more like whimsical fantasy. The female main character, Hannah, going on like this journey to find her parents and find out what happened to her mom and just like becoming her own person. And honestly, I thought Kai was just going to be like along for the ride, because even in the front of the book, in the synopsis, it talks only about Hannah. It doesn't even mention Kai by name. So I did not think that like a man being in this book was going to be like that important. They were just maybe not like together too much because they did go on the journey together, but I think there was just too much of like a romantic aspect than there needed to be. And like there was even one part in the book where they introduced like a love triangle that actually I felt like did nothing for the story to progress the story. It was just kind of like thrown in there, putting the female main character Hannah in this position to like choose between the two guys, which again made no sense and did not further her character at all. And while this book was really fast to read, I thought that it was just like a little bit rushed, which was, it's weird to say that it dragged a little bit because of the dialogue, but then it was also rushed because there were some parts that I like really wanted fleshed out. Like when you're reading it, if you're the type of person who like envisions what you're reading, this played out in my head like an animated show, like an animated movie, TV series, something. Like the descriptors was animation. And I also was not expecting that aspect of it. If you remember in the beginning of my video, I showed you what the inside cover of the Illumicrate version of this book looked like. And while although that is like digital art, that is not like in the style of animation like what you would think, especially Japanese animation, to be. But anyways, back to the story. Once Hannah found her dad at the end, I honestly thought that that was going to be like pulled out way more and like explained way more, and then like the connection of the two worlds were going to be explained way more, and it just wasn't, and I was a little bit disappointed in that. And then also at the very end, part 4, like I feel like there were two climactic points in this story, and this is going to be a spoiler, so fast forward to like this time if you don't want a spoiler. I feel like the two climactic points in this book was whenever Hannah found her mom and whenever Hannah like died. I didn't like how they were all jumbled together. I didn't like how she never got like closure from her mom, considering that she had so many mommy issues like throughout the entire book. And then the second climatic point was whenever like Hannah died and Kai went back to his world and his real life, and even like his chapter of whenever he met his mom, like he also consistently and throughout the entire book how much trauma his mom gave him. And so I was just expecting that to be like, you know, fleshed out a little bit more. And then like, yeah, of course she like comes back at the end, and I think it would have been a more satisfying ending if she hadn't. And I think a huge part of that is because I didn't feel like this should have been like, I didn't feel like there should have been as much romance in this book as there was. So it needed to have like an unsatisfying ending because of that for me, because I don't really give a fuck about Kai. Like, yeah, I didn't really care about him. I wanted to know about Hannah. I wanted to like follow Hannah on her story. So anyways, all that said, I had a ton of fun reading this book. It's definitely a fast read. It's whimsical. It's like no other book that I've read before, and honestly this would be one book that I would absolutely want to see put into like a screen adaptation, but only if it's animated. So if you've read this book, let me know if you have similar thoughts, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you felt differently about things than I did. I had a lot of fun with this reading vlog, and I will tell you that I was in a reading slump at the beginning of this video. I think I mentioned that, and this book actually took me out of the reading slump because I just remembered how fun reading could be, because this book was like a lot of fun. So anyways, I think I'm gonna call it here. Live, laugh, love you all. Live, laugh, love the library, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!